Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pillar to Post. I am Rashaun Alleyne, and I'm joined again by Kobia Hamblin. And together, we're going to be recapping the Crop Over Festival Raceday that was run last Saturday at the Garrison Savannah. Most notably, the feature, the Crop Over Festival handicap that was run at 1570. It ended the card for horses rated 115 and below. And Kobia, it was won by Zazie, and sometimes you miss things, and after you're like, my God, this was so obvious, but she completely dominated this field.
I thought I was the only one that noticed it, Rashawn. It's only after I looked back at the race, I said, how did I not have Zazie in a race like this? The
Right.
dog practical joke taking the 7 pound claim with Kadeem Mohammed, who I must say is improving with every ride at the Garrison. Zazie from pillar to post dominated this race, dismissing every challenge she got with confident fashion. Her first win, actually, at 7.8, must I note. But she broke
Yeah.
sharply away with Sir Jimmy on the rails, who I thought would have given her a bit of competition early on, but she dismissed him early and said, "This is no speed for me. I'm going to show you how fast I can go." Miss Anya,
And
I'm sorry.
that's noticeable. I think that's notable, sorry, that when she got to the lead and so clearly to the lead, this kind of platitudinous to say, but like the race was over from then.
Yeah, the 5-year-old daughter of 4-year-old, should I say, the 4-year-old filly, the daughter of Practical Joe. I think she showed a good sense of her dad's speed early on. And Miss Anya, who came to answer a question here around the 4 furlong pole, I think maybe she needs another start in Barbados to cement herself just to see where she goes. Because she's from overseas doesn't necessarily mean she's an A-class horse. We need to see where she fits appropriately. But Zazie, much the best. No questions asked.
Yeah, this was very impressive by Zazie. Again, as you mentioned, like this is a race for 115. She's 112 and she got a 7 pound claim. So she went to post with 117 and or actually 118 and then got to the lead uncontested and won. Then there's the two principals. Well, the Goddess Nike's rated a little lower than she is, but coming in, she's one of the favorites as well as Brilliant News. And Brilliant News then change of rider claimed as well and ran pretty solidly, but
I
to
agree.
give away, yeah, to give away 8 points to Zazie after she gets to dictate on the front end is going to be very hard to peg her back. Miss Anya Agree may want another start. She hasn't been seen for some time, so showed good interest in the beginning, but faded ultimately. The Goddess Nike had some trouble at the start and then was just behind the
She
eight
was
ball
pretty
from there.
badly hampered at the start. She was
Yeah,
missing right throughout. I think maybe she would
exactly.
have enjoyed a bit of a cut in it. Going the track was pretty fast. I heard it our first time going firm in about 2 or 3 race days. And her last win, you would have remembered, was on a soft going. Not as soft as last race day, but definitely not as hard as last
Right,
race.
exactly. And I think she's just a horse also that would love if this race were 9 furlongs. Not that she is incapable of winning at the 1570, but a horse like her, I think, will want a little bit further. But as you see the rundown, Zazie comfortably with 2.5 lengths over Brilliant News, who didn't run, who backed up his smoking tea runner performance with another solid start. He's been missing from the winners enclosure since 2023, so it's definitely time to keep an eye on Brilliant News because he's trending upwards. The Goddess Nike and then Sir Jimmy. But as you said, a very solid ride from Zazie, and she came away with the win. But speaking of ride, Kobia, we're gonna get into our ride of the day. You're gonna tell us what your ride of the day was.
My ride of the day could be found in race number 6, the ceremonial delivery of the last Canes handicap. This is a race going 5.5 furlongs. And as much as it's a ride of the day on Caribbean Kitten, this was not my selection. Now, Caribbean Kitten was badly hampered at the start. Thunder Lady came out from the one path to about the 4 or the 5, but she showed brilliant speed. Good luck catching her. My golly, she's a fast filly. But where I must commend Lester Blind Mice Hours was his patience in this ride. He was able to sit in behind horses and relax behind the speed and slowly pick his pockets and pick his direction as where he should go. You can see Ollivander, Princess Julia, Criterion, all trying to get on terms with Thunder Lady, who's absolutely flying up front. And on the rails, just biding his time, is Lester. He selects third here. He moves to third here rather, and just about when the pace starts to come back, he asks his horse for more, and Caribbean Kitten said, "Let's go." He joins the two of them at the top of the stretch, and it's not even a match race from here. Caribbean Kid simply blows right past him. He's almost in the grandstands at this point. He's about 9-10 wide,
Right.
but it does not phase him one bit.
Yeah, you're not alone. This was also not my selection. I think when you look back, you're like, okay, 113 pounds, and you don't necessarily love anyone in this spot. And with the pace setup, he rallied really well. And you're right, like a lot of patience from Lester Edwards and to extricate him from the inside and win the race. But for me, my ride of the day comes just one race prior, and that was in race number 5, Legendary, with Jarrell Beckles, and he's in post 10 of 12. And a big thing that I noticed with riders, right, exactly, out in the sand, that I noticed with riders at the Garrison is that they tend to not try to get position going forward, or seldom a small group does. And I think Beckles did a really good job getting this position going forward. And here's where I think the race was won within the next furlong, where you break and you're 3-4 wide pretty early, but as they go into the turn, he's able to navigate to the rail. And there's nothing like saving ground. And if you look at Lady Jane, who's gonna finish second, she's now 3-4 wide, while Legendary, she's getting 15 pounds from, has already slipped to the rail and has a couple lengths on her. That's a tall mountain to climb. I always talk about when you play musical chairs and you're down to the one chair, the last chair, the person, if you're running next to each other, the person on the inside is always going to win. You're not going to get around that person and get into the one chair and sit. So I think this was just a perfect example of Beckles recognizing what he had to do. He got position going forward, tucked in and saved some grounds. They went around the corner down the hill and got the jump on Lady J and won.
No matter what sport it is, whether it's track and field, horse racing, car racing, they always say the shortest route home is through the inside. And Jarrell Beckles and Legendary proved that.
Yeah, I don't think he could have, written it up any better given where he was drawn. And Legendary is a pretty fast horse. He used that speed to get some position, and he was rewarded with it. So for me, Legendary's ride by Jarrell Beckles was the ride of the day. But
Okay.
yeah, that was our recap from last race day, the Crop Over Festival race day. So thank you for tuning in again, and look out for our preview show for the Barbados Derby, the last leg of the Triple Crown. It's going to be run off on July 26th, and it's going to be a very competitive field for the Derby. Can't wait to see it. And as always, may all your tickets be winning ones.
Good night and goodbye, everyone.